We're back with Alden Chodash of AldenBoxing.com. This past Saturday, Alden, in Carson, California, it was Oscar De La Hoya night, an easy victory over Stevie Forbes. From what you saw on Saturday, you think Oscar now beats Floyd?
Being active certainly is going to help him. He looked sharp against Steve Forbes, regardless of what the matchup looked like on paper. Steve Forbes definitely came in to win. He didn't come in looking like an opponent, coming in looking like a fighter who was going to give down to Oscar De La Hoya, as well as thousands of his adoring fans who packed the Home Depot Center that night. He looked like a guy that was trying to win, and in spurts he looked like he had his moments against Oscar De La Hoya. He managed to back him up a couple times in the fight, definitely gotten a lot of clean punches, but Oscar De La Hoya did look sharp. He worked a good solid jab, a jab that could have led him to victory in the first fight if he would have used it with more consistency and regularity. He definitely displayed that against Forbes. He displayed good combinations. He displayed good rhythm for us, and it was all around a good performance technically for Oscar De La Hoya. Too bad he couldn't get him out of there. That would have been the icing on the cake, I think. But instead, he got 12 hard, solid rounds of work. I think that's definitely exactly what he needed going into the rematch against Floyd. I'm more excited about the rematch against Floyd than I would be if Oscar De La Hoya would have looked stiff. And even if he would have stopped Forbes and looked unimpressive, I'm more impressed now with Oscar De La Hoya's chances going in against Floyd based on the fact that he won 12 hard rounds against a good fighter like Forbes, and he looked sharp.
Okay, and now moving on to this week's action. ESPN's Wednesday night card features super bantamweights Mike Oliver, 21-0, taking on Ronaldo Lopez. Lopez has 2 straight losses, both coming to Daniel Ponce de Leon and Christian Maharis. So for Mike Oliver, seems like it could be a step up. Do you agree?
Yes, Mike Oliver is stepping it up gradually. I thought he lost his fight with Kerry Stark, but since then he made a couple ESPN showings, looked impressive. He has pretty quick hands. He's a good, solid fighter. Lacks the punching power, but he's steadily developing, and he was an accomplished amateur. So I know in the division he's fighting at, he may have a hard time finding lucrative matches throughout the course of his career, but he's fun to watch as he develops, and he's definitely has quick hands and good boxing skills.
So you think he should take the edge over Lopez on Wednesday?
Yeah, Lopez is definitely a journeyman, but he's been in with some names, so it's a good step up for Oliver.
Okay, on Friday's ESPN program, it's Mike Arntonudis taking on undefeated Leonardo Tyner. The biggest win on his resume is Martise Logan, so for Tyner, this is a big move up in class. Do you agree?
Yeah, but also for Mike Arntonudis. He's been inactive recently, and he's fighting a guy who doesn't know how to lose yet. As of yet, he's an undefeated fighter. Definitely, when you consider that his biggest win was over Martise Logan, you got to consider that's a bigger step up for Tyner than it would be for Arntonudis. But Arntonudis has been inactive, so it's going to be interesting to see how he performs in his first notable fight, probably since back-to-back losses to Ricardo Torres, which was controversial, and a decisive, lopsided, near shutout loss to Kendall Holt.
You like Arntonudis, or you think he's just a C-plus fighter?
Well, I definitely was impressed with him before the Torres and Holt back-to-back losses, but got to remember, his career might have turned out a lot differently if he would have gotten the nod against Ricardo Torres. But he could still, it's still early in his career, and he could still fight his way back to that level and maybe even get a rematch with Torres or even Holt down the stretch of his career.
Okay, on Saturday on Showtime, it's Junior Witter facing unbeaten Timothy Bradley. Who do you think is going to win that fight?
I think Junior Witter is going to win that fight. I'm impressed with Bradley, but he's a very one-dimensional fighter. He's a solid workman-like style. He has a style similar to that, but he's not a very quick fighter. Junior Witter obviously is. He's very strong. He's shown that with his spectacular, devastating knockout over Vivian Harris. He's beaten the best of the division. He beat DeMarcus Corley, who was closer to the form that he showed against Judah, Cotto, and Mayweather than he was in his recent performance against Devin Alexander. So Junior Witter is one of the best, if not the best, in the 140-pound division. I'd like to see him fight Hatton. I think it will be too much for Timothy Bradley, who hasn't faced anything like Junior Witter at this point of his career. I think he's stepping it up too quickly in one spurt, and it's not a very wise decision in his career.
Okay. And also on that card, it's Carl Froch taking on a late substitute opponent, Ruben Williams. Froch Williams, who's going to win?
Well, Ruben Williams has been a has-been, or is a has-been. He's was impressive against Jeff Lacey when Lacey was at his best. He gave Lacey fits, but as he's shown against Allen Green earlier this year, in the beginning of this year, he is a C-plus fighter at this point. Age is taking its toll, and this should be an easy fight for Carl Froch, who gets a chance to showcase his skills and his punching power, which are very heralded in England, to a national audience.
Okay, great. Thanks, Alden, for talking to us. Remember to check out aldenboxing.com. We'll be back next week with another show. Bye-bye.